Are you creating another job for yourself, or are you actually creating a real estate business? Check this out. Hey everybody, it is Brent Daniels. Let me start this video off with a little parable, a little story about two brothers. Okay, two brothers were tasked by the king to build a pyramid. Okay, this is just an old fable. It's in a book I read or something. So here's the thing: whoever built the pyramid first would inherit the kingdom. When the king passed, he didn't have any sons. This is old school. Whoever built this, he had these two brothers. They were very bright. One was very strong. The other one wasn't as strong. He was more kind of clever, right? The king wanted to know what was better, being strong or clever to rule a kingdom, okay? So the first brother started out, and he started pounding these stones, and he started dragging these stones out, and he starts building the base. And the other brother starts tinkering around, and you don't really see him. He hasn't even touched a tool. He hasn't even started like chiseling up some rock. He hasn't even started moving any rock. He hasn't done anything physically. He's just tinkering around in his little tool shed, right? In his little workshop, and he's just messing around. And the other brother, he's going and he's pulling all these rocks, and he's putting all this rock, and he's building the foundation. Finally, he's got his whole foundation, 2 months worth. He's been working. He's got the whole foundation for this pyramid done. Now, and the caveat was they can only use them, so they can only work with themselves. They could be the only ones that build these pyramids. Let me put a little asterisk there. So the other brothers, 2 months later, he hasn't even moved a stone. He hasn't done anything. He's tinkering around. And the other brother, he's getting stronger now. He's pulling stones up. Now he has to go up one step, and he's putting these giant stones on. He's laughing. He's like, oh, this is easy money. I'm gonna have this whole kingdom. It's gonna be great. And he's building it, and he's building it. And he goes for a whole year, and he's building this beautiful pyramid. It's building. The other brothers in there tinkering. And all of a sudden, he comes out and he's got a machine. He's got this crazy lever machine that could pick up the rocks and place them right where he wanted them. And he keeps picking up the rocks and placing them and picking up the rocks and placing them. And by the time another year goes by, the second brother, who had built a machine to do the work, he took the time to build a machine that would do the work for him. He finished in 2 years, and the other brother wasn't even halfway done. And the other brother thought he had to get stronger. I have to be stronger. I got to pull more rocks. I got to put more rocks on. I got to pull more. I got to put more. And if I get stronger, I'm going to beat my brother. But the other brother was using something called leverage. Leverage. This is the turning point between, do you have a job or do you have a business? I think that this is so critical. This is the mindset part of this week. This is a huge thing, factor to think about, okay? You do not want to get into this wholesaling business so that you are constantly doing every single part of the business. You don't want to be pulling lists and getting the numbers and putting them into a dialer, or hand calling them and then making the calls yourself and then doing lead follow-up and then getting the contract signed and then selling those deals and then starting all over again. Now, in the beginning, you have to do that because you have to understand the process, right? You have to understand what's going on there from like you're the one lifting those rocks, and that's fine until you have enough resources to start leveraging and getting other people in your business, actually growing your business. Okay, let me tell you the first person that I think that you should hire if you decide that this is going to be a business for you. Because listen, let's have some self-awareness here. If you don't like people, if you don't like leading people, if you think it's going to be a nightmare, if you think you just want to be a salesperson out there, you just want to be a wholesaler, and you want to get deals, you want to sell deals, you want to go on vacation, you want to do what you want to do all that, you don't want to manage people and their emotions and making sure that their families are fed, I totally get it, 100%. But do you want to build a machine, or do you want to just build this by hand, right? It's really, really, really a different side. So first of all, you have to make that decision. Do you want this to be a really high-paying job, or do you want this to be a business? Okay, if you want this to be a business, then you have to start leveraging all the little ticky-tack stuff. Now, you've probably seen on other YouTube channels or on podcasts or whatever, people talking about VAs, which stands for virtual assistants. These are phenomenal resources for you. Okay, these are like the people that are going to like really start doing that really nitpicky stuff in the beginning, right? Sorting through all the data, working through and making sure that your lists are clean to be uploaded into your dialer, making sure that your data gets organized, right? All these little things that probably, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're pushing it in this business, you are not good at, right? You can get a VA, phenomenal VAs at Upwork.com. They're starting to come out with different companies in the real estate space that are specific for these type of jobs. I'm sure I'm gonna be networking and interview somebody on this channel that's gonna have phenomenal resources that you can just plug in. But for now, you can go to Upwork.com and find phenomenal resources that you can tap right into. I'm talking $3, $4, $5 an hour for like superstar status, right? Like really, really, really good quality people. And they start taking out all those operational things that you're doing. Everything that's preventing you from talking to distressed property owners, all of a sudden your VA is doing. And then what you do is you start building up your bank account. You start getting these deals. You start listening to this YouTube channel. You start talking to people. You start having quality conversations with distressed property owners. And then all of a sudden your bank account starts swelling. And you have enough reserves for your family for 6 months. You start paying off debts. You start using that money. And then you start investing back into your business when it comes to people. Okay, to people. So now you start training what's called an acquisition manager. Maybe you've heard of it before, but basically an acquisition manager's job is to make sure when a lead comes in, they follow up with that lead until they either sign a contract or get rid of them. Right? These are your lead follow-up specialists. These are your salespeople. These are your killers out there that have such high emotional intelligence, and they're kind and they're optimistic and they know how to get deals signed. Those are your acquisition managers, and they start replacing you on going to appointments or start replacing you on getting these contracts signed. You can start hiring other people to make the calls. I hire all my people at a company called callmotivatedsellers.com. They're expats or they're Americans living in Costa Rica that make the calls for me. They make all the calls. They make 180 hours of calls, 160 hours of calls a week for me, okay? I couldn't do that myself. So now I've got this machine I've got leads coming in. I've got unbelievable people following up with those leads, making sure the contract's signed. And the final piece, well, I have two other pieces. I have a lead manager that makes sure that all the leads that are coming in from my phone prospectors are clean and great and strong before it goes to the acquisition managers. And then once those acquisition managers get it signed up and done, I get a disposition man. I have a disposition manager. And all he does is he sells the properties and he builds our cash buyer database. I'm only working in this business 10 hours a week. It's incredible. $1 million plus business, 10 hours a week. Now you can do this all yourself as a high-paying job. Keep it all. Don't worry about people. Don't worry about office. Don't worry about payroll and making sure people get these things and all the LLC information and tax information and all this stuff. You can just do it yourself, and you can just build it up yourself and just keep the money and just deal with yourself and be highly paid professional like a doctor or an attorney would be, right? Or an athlete is a highly paid professional. They're not a business owner when they're getting paid from the NBA or NFL or NHL or MLB or whatever it is. Or you can be a business owner. It just depends on having the self-awareness. It just depends on if you're willing to build that machine. And I'm telling you, this machine has been built. If you keep watching this channel, I'm gonna keep giving you pieces to what that machine looks like so that you can follow it outline by outline. But it all starts with the one key thing in this business, which is having quality conversations with distressed property owners. How do you want to do that? Do you want to pay for them to call you with marketing? Do you want to wait for them to find you through referrals? Or do you want to be proactive, shake your head, and go out, make calls, and talk to people, right? Got it. So, awesome. Just determine which one it is for you. Do you want to be Michael Jordan, or do you want to be the owner of the Bulls? It's up to you. So, anyway, if you're looking to join, that's a TTP program, wholesalinginc.com/TTP. Check it out. If you're looking to be mentored by me personally, then check out that site. It's got some awesome testimonials from phenomenal students around the country. It's got an outline of what the program's all about. If it is, I'd love to personally work with you. You are awesome. Thank you for watching. Comment down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, come on. What are you doing? That's bananas. Let's go. Until next time, you guys are the best. Love you. See ya.